my sound on the live stream, can one of you do me a favor and click the link up above in the Jumbotron and tell me if the audio from the live stream is like interfering with the space or if it only allows you to hear the audio in the space? You can hear the audio in the live stream. It is. So I could do both, right? Like it's not going to interfere if I have the audio on the live stream. And it looks like I have some people that have joined on the live stream. So if you're here on the live stream, thank you so much. If you want to join the space and actually be a part of the discussion, would love to have you. You can just go to my X account, go to the profile, and you should see it there. Just in case, I'm going to, let me see, is it there? You do have to unmute. Oh, well, that's good. I want the default setting to be muted because I don't want the audio to interfere with the space audio. So, but just in case somebody joins on the live stream, because we have, it says 18 people in the live stream and there's 4 people here. So, just in case somebody joins on the live stream, they can actually hear audio and they can hear me say, you know, we're in a live space right now. Because last time the whole live stream was just silent. So, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you helping out. Victor, welcome. So good to see you. We'll go ahead and get started. I'm really excited about this space. I finally finished the official training. No, I didn't finish, but I'm doing training number 1 for Alpha, and I'm really focused on training because, you know, when you look at some of the best apps and products out there, they have really great training programs. Like when you go to use a new tool, it should be the product that teaches you how to actually use the tool, right? So I really want to model that best practice, especially as an educator. So for the last couple of weeks, I've been working on this first training. And by the way, I do have a playlist. So I'm just setting up right now. Thank you, everyone, for being here. If you don't mind, I'd love to just kind of have you all say hi because it'll give me a couple minutes to kind of set up. I'd like to share the training playlist at the top and a couple of other things. So, is anybody available to say hi? Welcome, Janina. So good to see you. Welcome, Go Chris. I'll go on mute just for a second if someone wants to pop off and say hi. Yes, you have. Hi, everyone that's joining the live stream. I've got 2 things going on right now. I've got the space and I've got the live stream going on. So if you want to join us in the space, just go to my X account and you'll be able to join there. Victor, are you speaking? I can't hear you if you are. So I might have to make you do a quick lap. That's okay. It's going to be painless. Watch how painless this is. We're going to remove you, bring you right back up because I want to be able to hear you. Let's see if that works. Just getting the classroom in order, everyone. I'm excited about this. Victor, hi. Let's see if I can hear you now. Can you all hear Victor? Usually that one lap works, but I still can't hear him. Okay, Victor, the lap didn't work, so it looks like it might be happening on your end. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you so much. All right, you all, let's go ahead and get started. So I have a couple of really important links up at the top. All right, so depending on what kind of learner you are, we have a couple of different experiences for you. I do want to say hi to Russ. Welcome to the stage. So good to see you. And welcome, Disabled Guy. Great to have you here. Hi, Justin. I see you. And Brent and Rutro and Arav and Meta and Sair. I hope I'm saying that okay. And Nikita. Good to see you all. Thanks so much for joining. If you want to come up on stage, feel free. This is a live workshop. I'm experimenting with this style. Okay, so I do have the live stream going and it's up in the Jumbotron. It's the first post that you'll see in the Jumbotron. And I did brush my hair today for you all. So I have the camera on and I also have the mic on the live stream. But so you can choose the experience that you want. The best experience is going to be in the space with us, right? If you want to get up on stage, you can listen and hear what's going on. But then also I have the live stream going so that you can have an actual visual of what we're talking about. Now, because I have the audio happening on the live stream, you do want to keep the live stream muted if you're here in the space. But the reason I have the audio on is because some people are going to find us through the live stream. And I'm actually multi-streaming right now. I'm using StreamYard, which I love. If anybody wants the link, please DM me. I do have an affiliate link. I'd love for you to use it if you're thinking about using StreamYard. So right now I'm actually streaming to X, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So if you're joining from any of those platforms, welcome. I do want to invite you to actually come over to the live space on X so that you can join the conversation because I'm really excited to show you all how quickly and simply you can build a landing page. It's amazing how long people go without a landing page. They have these great ideas, they have all these things they want to do, and it's like, I want you all to be able to see how quickly you can put a landing page together and how powerful it is to have a landing page. So there's a couple ways to learn here. Of course, being in the space is going to be the best. That way you can ask questions. You can join us live on stage. And then I am starting, and I'm learning this from these big, tech companies. They have really, the best tech companies to me have really great training resources on YouTube University. That's what I call it. How many of y'all throw up an emoji if anybody loves YouTube University like I do? I love going there to learn about these tools. And really, I learn about the tools. Yeah, Chris and Chandel and Victor, thank you. I learn about these tools by using ChatGPT, and then I really supplement that with YouTube. So I'm modeling this off of that. So I'm going to be doing a whole training program for Alpha. So if you're a part of it, this is training number 1. Now, if you were with me last week, you know that I did a couple of trial trainings, right? And so what I'm doing is I'm creating a training playlist. So training number 1 is really focused on getting you started. And so I have 3 videos. The whole playlist is not done yet, but I did post it up at the top. And this is a YouTube playlist. Okay. I think I'm going to actually switch the order around here because I want the live stream to come first. Nikita, I see your hand up, so just give me one moment and I will definitely pass you the mic. I'm just kind of doing some housekeeping here to get the space set up, but I'm really happy that you all are here. Okay, so both resources are in the Jumbotron. We've got our live stream going on so that you can see the visual of what we're talking about. And then we also have the training number 1 playlist. And what I would recommend is for you to save that, okay? Because this is going to be about an hour, hour and a half space. It's going to be a long space, so I want to make sure that when you leave here, you have something more condensed to work with if you'd like. So that's what the playlist is. It's 3 videos. I think the whole thing is like less than 30 minutes, but I teach you in the 3 videos how to create your launch blueprint, which is going to be really important, how to use ChatGPT to actually create your branding elements, your logo, your title, all of those things. And then finally, how to actually build your landing page in Softer. So everything that we're going to go through today in the live workshop, that's going to be kind of, a longer extension because it's live and we have discussion and we have people come up. I just want you to know that those videos are a condensed version of what we're doing here. Okay. They're edited and they're ready to go. So if you want to just save that playlist to your YouTube, send it to yourself, email it to yourself so that you can watch it later because that playlist will take you through everything. Okay, so before we get started, I want to get to Nikita. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here. And I do want to welcome anybody else up on stage if you'd like to join us. And welcome to everyone that's joining on the live stream. Hi, Patricia. Great to see you here. Hi, Jeff. Welcome. Okay, Nikita, I'm passing you the mic. Yep, we're about to get started. So just sit tight. And well, we just started about 11 minutes ago. So I've just been kind of setting up the space. But yeah, I'll go ahead and totally set up right now and let you all know what we're doing today. Okay. So thanks so much for being here. If you wouldn't mind just muting your mic because there's some background noise. Thanks so much. Are you able to mute? Otherwise, I'll mute you. Okay, thank you so much. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If anybody is on my newsletter, you got an email from me today, and I shared this story about how when I first discovered ChatGPT a couple of years ago, the first AI tool I created was the one-click course creator. And my background is education. I spent 10 years in the DC public school district as a special education teacher and then a teacher leader. I was a coach of teachers, supervisors. At the end of my 10-year career, I was a director of a school. And then I left and started consulting in 2017 because I was like, the school system, the public school system is just not for me. So when I discovered ChatGPT and discovered everything that I could do with a simple prompt, I was really excited to create my first prompt, which was a tool called the One Click Course Creator. And I put together a landing page on GoDaddy. So the first thing I did was find the domain. Okay, so I highly recommend that. First of all, if you all are thinking about building an app or building a business, building a project, and you have a name for it, and you know that that is the name that you want, some people will say, oh, go get a, trademark, go get a patent, go get a LLC. I say the first thing that you should go get is a domain. And some people might disagree with me, but to me, that is like stamping my claim on the internet world, right? To get that domain. So I purchased the One Click Creator domain through GoDaddy. And then this is a couple years ago. Okay. So I discovered that I could then create a simple website or landing page with GoDaddy. And when I tell you I put this up in less than 15 minutes as someone who is not a web designer, I'm not a web developer, I do not know how to build websites. Chandel is here. She's in the space. She does know how to build websites and she does this for a living. But I want you to know that when I did this a couple years ago, I did not know what I was doing, and it does not matter. What matters is I had a very simple landing page with just a couple of sections on it. But the main thing, the most important thing is the wait list. Okay, so if you're looking at the live stream and the link to that is up above, you'll see what the alpha wait list looks like. And by the way, I shared this wait list, I think a couple weeks ago. I already have 52 emails. Do you know how long it takes to get 52 emails with like a newsletter or whatever other methods that you're using to get emails? It takes a lot. Okay, that's currency. That's social media currency to get emails. So going back to my story about One Click Creator, when I got the domain, I built the landing page very quickly, and I knew because I had been working with a coach, a business coach, and they said, look, when you have a landing page, the first thing there needs to be a place for people to enter their email. Otherwise, you're missing a huge opportunity. I can't tell you how many times I go to people's landing pages and you have to like scroll. You have to find where it is that you put in your email. And I'm just letting you know, most people are not going to do that. So one of the first things you want to make sure, and if you look at any major company, their landing pages make it very, very easy to give you their email address. Okay, so that's like the main concept here. But the reason we're focused on a waitlist landing page, which is what I did for the one click creator landing page, is because, and this is the whole spirit of alpha. The spirit of alpha is that we're launching and publishing before we feel ready, before it's perfected, before it's perfectly polished. We are putting together a landing page and inviting people to be a part of the project. And there's something really special about a wait list. Okay. There's something that implies to people, first of all, that actually, let me do this. Let me be a good teacher. I want to stop speaking because I would love to hear from you all why you think, just put your hand up if you'd like to join in the conversation. Let's make this a little classroom style. And again, we are on a live stream, which is up above. And if you're joining on the live stream, thank you. I'm also in a space right now. I'm doing two things at once. But I'd love to hear from anyone here, just kind of like why you think the psychology behind a wait list is so much more powerful than if this button here, instead of saying wait list, said subscribe. I would love for us to test this one day, right? To see like the difference between having a button that simply says subscribe or join my email list versus wait list. So feel free, hop in the discussion or raise your hand and I can pass you the mic. But I'd love to hear from anybody if anyone has any thoughts about, psychologically why that is. Yeah, Shandell, please go ahead. Thank you. Okay, I took my Bluetooth or whatever they're called, my AirPods out. Remember Bluetooth back in the day? Oh my goodness. Can you all still hear me okay? Because if I do it like this, then when someone speaks, the people on the live stream can still hear. Can someone give me a thumbs up or let me know? Is the audio still okay? The audio sounds choppy to me. Okay. Well, let's. You sound gargled. Okay, no, that's not good. We don't want that. Thank you. So I'm back now. I hope this is better. I won't experiment anymore with sound. Okay. All right, good. I see lots of thumbs up. Thank you. So we're just gonna keep the AirPods in. I was doing that because then when Chandel's speaking, the people on live stream can hear. But that's okay. Look, if you want to hear the people on stage, you got to come to X. If you're on LinkedIn, if you're on YouTube, come join us on X. It's fun here. We're doing some fun things over on X. So come over here, find my profile, and join us live. We'd love to have you in the space. Thank you, Chandel, for that. Absolutely. Like that is exactly what it is. Understanding the anticipation. I mean, it's in the word, right? Wait. So people love anticipation. They love, actually, I'm going to be a good teacher. I see hands, so I'm not going to go too deep. I'd love to hear from some other people. Jeff, welcome to the stage. So good to hear from you. I'll pass you the mic. You're right. It does work. And it's like we can have the conversation about the why, but at the end of the day, it works. It's highly, highly effective. And I don't know why it took me so long to even have this discussion or have this space topic. Because when I did this with One Click Creator, I got over 300 emails on the wait list. And I transferred all of those people to my newsletter. And many of them are still, engaging years later. So this is really powerful. Victor, would love to hear from you, and then we'll go to Chris. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you. Oh, that's right. We couldn't hear you before, so that's good. Yeah, we hear you now. I'm so glad I asked you all this question because you're absolutely right. Like exclusivity is the thing. I mean, people love exclusivity. There's a lot of talk in the streets about inclusivity, right? We want to be inclusive. We want to be inclusive. I tend to think we're too inclusive sometimes, which is crazy coming from a special education teacher because my entire job was to include, students with special needs into the general education environment. And of course, in that context, inclusion is important because they're being excluded from education. So, of course, depending on the context, there are times where we want to be very inclusive. We need to be more inclusive, but when we're talking about marketing, selling a product, running a business, I want y'all to write down in your notes exclusivity in all caps. I love that because that is really a huge part of this. So thank you, Victor and Jeff and Chandel. And I'll go ahead and pass it to Chris. Yeah, so good. Good job, students. Give yourself a pat on the back. That was awesome. I love it. People ask me what I do for a living. I'm like, well, I talk on spaces and I live out my teacher fantasies in the public world. I love it. So thank you for that. Thank you. Really good. I want to welcome Tommy to the space and Sherilyn. Great to see you both. And Conky, great to see you. You all are welcome up on stage if you'd like to join us. So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and reset the space really quickly. I would love to ask if you all could please help support this space. Victor, thanks so much for leaving a comment in the chat. If you all could please repost the space or quote the space, that's really helpful. And just so you know, this is a community space. So that's why you see Edu Creators at the top. I started the Edu Creator community almost a year ago here on X, and we've been building it over the year. Really awesome. So I'd love to invite you to join. So if you're not able to leave a comment in the chat, it's because you're not a member of the community. And it is, if you join, I do need to accept you. So just let me know, if you tried to join. I see we have someone on the list. So let me get Meta Mike in the community here. All right, so just a couple of things. One, I'd love for you all to actually, thank you, Janina, for quote posting the space. I appreciate you so much. Hi, Summer, so good to see you. Okay, so what I would love for you all to do is actually, if you have not joined the Alpha waitlist, I'd love for you to do that so you can actually see what we're building in Training 1, because this isn't just a waitlist. This is, first of all, we're building an app. Okay, so if you're new to Alpha, it stands for app-based learner focus. So we're teaching creators, entrepreneurs, business owners how to actually build apps. And if you already know how to build apps, then we're helping you with the marketing side of it. Okay, actually selling your app, finding beta testers for your app. And it's a project hub and it's an accelerator. Why is an accelerator? Because we're working with teams. So we're helping you find your dream team. We're helping you get your app in the marketplace. So this initial group here is really uh, I want you all to be the first ones to launch your app inside of the Alpha Marketplace. So, what I'm teaching you how to do in this first training is how to actually build your waitlist landing page. That's where you start. Okay. So, so many people are not publishing or launching anything because they feel like they have to have their entire app ready. And that is just the worst thing because people are moving and they're going so fast and they're not caring if it's perfect or ready, and they're just publishing. And I'm telling you, the people that publish and consistently ship are going to be the winners here. Okay. It's not about who has the best. I mean, it's just not. We see all the time. It's not necessarily the best that wins. I don't know if you all watch like those cooking shows like Top Chef or uh, whatever. Now I can't think of any of those. But oftentimes when I watch those, I'm thinking, it's not necessarily the best chef that won. It was the one that was able to make it through the different competitions, right? And still move forward. So that's really the point of this here, is that I want to encourage you all to get something out there. And so if you could please we're going to go ahead and get started with the training. And if you look at the live stream, which is up above, so in the nest up above, we have two links. One is the actual live stream, so you can visually see what we're looking at here. And I do have my camera on. I brush my hair for y'all. I want to say hi to John Lopez. So good to see you. Welcome to the space. And then I also have training number 1 playlist on YouTube that I'm starting. So once you leave this space, this is going to be a condensed version of the training, because this training is probably going to be about an hour and a half, and we're going to have discussion and talk through. So I don't necessarily want you all to feel like you have to go back and watch an entire hour and a half long training. So I've condensed it into a playlist with 3 different videos, and in total, it's about 30 minutes, I believe. And so what I'd love for you all to do, the first part of the training is actually creating your launch blueprint. So I want you all to see how you go through this waitlist process. So if you go to dropthealpha.com, so when I started the space, I talked about One Click Creator. That was the first domain that I got. Well, when I came up with Alpha, which came from God, I mean, that was directly, it was like divine. I had been thinking I was going to call this something totally different. And then Alpha came to me and I was like, ooh, that's so good for many reasons. So the domain that I got is Drop the Alpha, because of course Alpha was taken. Alpha app was taken. But I was like, oh, I like Drop the Alpha. Okay. So like I said, start with a domain. Chandel is here. She can help you. She's one of our founders in the Educreator community, and she's one of my homegirls in real life. Okay, she was with me after both of my postpartum periods, and she's just been absolutely incredible. She has spent many, many hours holding my beautiful son, Romeo, and she has children of her own. She's a mama and an entrepreneur. So if you need help with domains and websites, she's definitely your go-to. But what we're building here is a landing page for our app. Okay, so this is a little bit different. It's a web-based app that can also be an iPhone or Android app. How? We don't have to go through the store. There's something now called progressive web apps. Okay, I don't know if anyone's heard of this. I'm not a developer. My background is teaching, but I have been researching no-code apps for a while because I've been wanting to build apps for a while. And so we are building what are called progressive web apps that allow you to actually go to the web-based app, so just the website, dropthealpha.com. And then from there, you'll be able to actually click a button and download the iPhone app. Now, that's not ready yet with Alpha because, again, we're at the beginning. We're at the very beginning phases. But I want you all to know that if you build an app with us, that app will be available on iPhone, Android, and web-based. Okay? So to see what we're doing today, I'd like for you all to actually go through the process of seeing what it's like to join the waitlist. So you can go to dropthealpha.com and just enter in your email. Once you enter in your email, you should automatically get a welcome email. Okay, so this is an automated waitlist, which is really, really powerful. You don't want to have to think about every time someone joins your waitlist, you got to follow up with them. So many times people will join a waitlist and they don't get anything for months, right? So at least you can create a nice welcome email that you update over time based on where you are in the process. But this is going to be so, so important. Okay, I've spent a lot of time researching emails, email marketing, and newsletters. And did you all know that the welcome email will be the biggest open rate email of all the emails you send? Okay. So that welcome email is super important. So I want you to go through this process and see what it's like to join the waitlist and then get the welcome email from me. And I want you to use this as a model for your own landing page and process. Okay. So this is not just about having a wait list, but this is actually about onboarding into your project as well. Right. So we want to onboard people. I love the faces, Chandel. This is good. I'm gonna pass it back to you in a moment because I want to hear what those faces are about. But if you join the wait list, you're going to get a welcome email from me. Inside this email are two very important things. One is an onboarding survey. Now, this is important because alpha is all about testing, beta testing. And so I want you to think about this for your project as well. You want to get your waitlist subscribers and users used to completing surveys and giving feedback, because this is going to be an essential part of building your app and launching your project. Okay. So when you get this welcome email from me, you're going to be invited to actually join or complete the survey. And then the second thing you're going to get, and I purposely do not put this link out there just publicly. I require people to go through the wait list to actually get access to the launch blueprint. Now, the launch blueprint is my first official app that will be part of the alpha marketplace. And how did I come up with this app? Well, I saw that people really needed help coming up with their app concept. Okay. So the launch blueprint link that you'll get in your welcome email, you go to it and it's going to ask you to answer a few questions. Now, once you do that, you're going to go through a process where you will actually, Victor, I see your question. You just go to dropthealpha.com. Maybe someone could put that in the chat for me, if you don't mind. Could someone just type in? It's also in my bio. So if you go to my bio, the link is there. And then maybe if someone could help me out by putting it in the chubble, we call it, the chat bubble, that would be really helpful. But where, drop the alpha, not alpha.com, dropthealpha.com. And again, it's in my bio. Okay, dropthealpha.com. So once you do that, you'll get the wait list, you'll get the welcome email, you'll get your launch blueprint, and that is where we're starting. So in the video playlist that I put up above, the first video there is about creating your launch blueprint. Now, this is absolutely free. In the marketing world, this is what we would call a lead magnet. Okay, we will get to that in future trainings because all of this is automated. But we want to take it beyond just having people join a wait list. We actually want them to get something out of this. So what I'm doing is I'm taking people through a journey and I'm actually incentivizing people to move through. So anyone who has completed the launch blueprint is actually invited. Thank you, Janina, so much. Is actually invited to join what I'm calling the winner circle. Okay. And the winner circle are all the people that have their launch blueprint. They have their app concept. They have an understanding of the vision for their app. And I'll actually pull up the launch blueprint while Chandel was talking, especially. I'll pull up the launch blueprint so that you all can see what that looks like here. Okay. So once you get your launch blueprint, it's going to be a Notion page. You'll get it in your email. It'll get sent to you. You'll have your full app concept. You'll have your vision. You'll have a goal. And then from there, which we'll move to in the second part, so I won't jump into that now, but I'm going to show you how to actually take that launch blueprint, put it into ChatGPT, and use that to create your branding elements. Okay. And then from there, we're going to build our waitlist landing page. So if you're watching the live stream up above, I'm now sharing the launch blueprint. And again, the way that you get this launch blueprint, which is totally free, is by going to dropthealpha.com. And I'm just bringing Chandel back up. Go to dropthealpha.com, join the waitlist, look for your welcome email, and then look for the link to the launch blueprint. It'll ask you to answer 3 really important questions that are so important for marketing your product and your app. So even if you're like, I don't know if I want an app, I don't know what I'm doing here, that's okay. Answer the questions. You might like the launch blueprint. You might like the app concept that you get, right? So it's going to ask you 3 questions here. And if you're looking at the live stream, you'll see the actual page for the launch blueprint. But I'm going to go ahead and pause here okay? Because I've given you all an assignment, which is to join the waitlist. So go ahead and do that. If you really want to go through this training, I highly recommend that you do. Go to the launch blueprint, click that start building button, answer those 3 questions about what problem are you solving, who are you solving it for, what is the transformation that you want to see, because we are creating apps that are going to provide transformation, that are solving real problems. I'm tired of seeing apps that are just like all the other apps out there and they're not actually solving problems and they're charging people a lot of money. Okay, so we want to build apps that are actually transformational. And then the third question you're going to answer is, what does success look like for you? The answers to those questions are going to be what creates your launch blueprint, okay, and your app concept. So that's where we're starting. That's part 1. So if you want to do that, go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, come up on stage. That's why we're doing this live discussion. We have the live stream going on. That's in the Jumbotron. And then we also have the beginning part of our training number 1 playlist that you can save, watch later, and follow along and build along. Last thing I'm going to say, and then I'd love to pass it to you, Chandel. And I want to say hi to Poppy. So good to see you here. I'm not sure if I said hi to John, but good to see you. Last thing I want to say for now, I can't remember. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass it to you, Chandel. Thanks for being co-host. Thank you so much. I'm excited about this too. This product, that the platform that we're using to build the apps, is called Softer, which we'll get to in a second. It's Softer without the E. So it's SOFTR, okay, .io. So if you want to like jump ahead, that's in video 3. But if you want to see the platform that we're using, and I research multiple no code app builders. And even though they say they're no code, they are not user friendly. Okay, like I did not find Bubble user friendly. I did not, and I'm not a developer. So what I love about Softer is that you can build apps. Let me go ahead and just give it to you up front. How are we building apps? We are taking our databases. This is how you build an app with Softer. It's incredible. If you can build a database, you can build an app. So I love Notion, and I see your hand, Victor. I'm going to come right to you. You can use Notion, you can use Google Sheets, you can use Airtable. Whatever data you have in that spreadsheet, the way Softer works is that it integrates and connects with those databases, okay? And it gives you a beautiful front end experience. If you go to dropthealpha.com and scroll down, you're going to see the milestones for the project. This is like a project profile. Those milestones are created through a database that's connected. So it's a dynamic app, right? So if I update the database, it's going to automatically update in the app. So I want you all to be thinking about what kind of app could you create out of a database? Maybe you have a database of content. So you have an app with all of your premium content, or maybe you do courses, or Poppy here has his music, right? He could have an app with all of, the music that he wants to showcase. And the beautiful thing is that you own it. It's yours. You own the app. You own all the information on it. You own all the data. There are no algorithms. It's just amazing. It is amazing. And Softer has been around for 4 years, but I just discovered it like a month ago watching YouTube. And it wasn't even a Softer video. The woman just kind of like randomly mentioned Softer. And I was like, what? What is this? But look, God delivers things to me all the time through YouTube, okay? All the time. But I'm going to go ahead and pause there and pass it to you, Victor. Thanks so much for being here. You should get an email immediately. Did you not? Let's see if there's any sort of error. Usually I will get an email, but I didn't get any sort of email. And by the way, I'm using Make. Okay, so the three main tools that I'm using for this app are Notion. I'm using Notion as my back end database. You can also use Google Sheets. I'm using Softer as the front end actual app builder. And by the way, you can build your first app on Softer for free. Yes, you can publish. So what we're building today, I hope to see you publish it. Oh, that's what I was going to say earlier that I forgot. In a week from now, we're having our 10th community launch. Okay, so we've done 10 this year officially on Friday. And I would love for you all to come there and actually launch your waitlist landing page. Okay, so I just want to put that out there as the goal. Please continue to build. I really want to work with people that are going to click the buttons and actually take action on what we're building. And if you would agree to take action and actually go through this process, I will help you. I am committing to help you for free build your first app that will also be for free. Okay, I'm not asking for any money from you. I'm just asking you to press the buttons. I'm just asking for you to actually do what we're doing here and don't just watch and listen, but actually create an account, actually go through the steps. It's all here. I'm here to teach all of it to you. Okay, so yeah, hopefully, Victor, you get that welcome email really soon. I want to welcome Monique to the space. Monique is one of our founders, and she's an OG. She's actually the first person to ever join my community 3 years ago on Clubhouse when it was Bliss House Network. Okay, I've had 3 different communities. My first community was Bliss House Network, and it was focused on wellness and education. And she was my first ever community member, and she's still with me to this day. She's amazing. She just directly brought me my biggest client I've had in years. Okay, so a community member ended up bringing me a referral that turned into a really amazing big client, a nonprofit that we're working with in Philadelphia. And it has afforded me the opportunity, because it only takes a few hours a week to actually provide the service to them, even though they're paying me enough, for a few months to live off of. So because of that, I've got a lot of extra time. I mean, who has extra time, right? I fill up all the time, but I chose to use that investment to actually build our first app as a community and to teach you all how to build your first app. I'm able to do this because of this client that we have that was brought directly to me from Monique. She said it, I'm a little too close for comfort, so I'm gonna give it to you, Christelle. And I mean, it's been incredible. So I'm a huge advocate for building community, which is why we're building the apps this way. I hear app developers all the time tell me about their ideas and their apps, but they have no testers. They have no users. I remember one time I was scrolling on X and I saw someone complaining about how you have to have 20 users in order to publish an app, I think on Google or something like that. And I'm like, 20? You can't get 20 people to test your app. So I want to encourage you all always to start with building community, and that's really where your waitlist comes in. So anyone who's joining that waitlist is letting you know that they are interested in what you're building and they want to be a part of it. So you don't just want to have them sit there. You want to take them through a journey, give them a survey, build some kind of lead magnet for them. Send them emails, invite them to live trainings, invite them to live meetings with updates. Okay, so this is really a community experience. We don't, even though we're calling it a wait list, we're not having them sit on that wait list for a long time. We're calling it a wait list because we want to imply that the project is not finished. It's just getting started. So people are not expecting a perfect finished product, which will hopefully relieve you of the need for perfection. That's the whole idea here with Alpha. It's the beginning. Okay. So that's what we're doing. Let me know if anyone has any questions. Just raise your hand, hop off the mic. I'd love to hear from you. Just as a quick reset, since I don't see any hands, I want to say hello to Deji, and I want to say hello to Band Marketing Ad Strategist. I'm following you back. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here. All right, I'm gonna give a personal update. Chandel. Oh no, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna wait because that's gonna take us on a whole different topic. But I thought I was actually gonna start with the personal update and I didn't. We jumped right in. But you all, I'm on week 1 of sobriety from the ganja. I don't know if you heard about this, Chandel, but I gave it up a week ago. And let me tell you, it was a rough week. Okay. It was a rough week. But I'm really happy to be here with you all and I'm feeling a lot better. So this is a community space. We're building together. We're learning together. I actually talked to Summer the day that I was really having a rough time. And Summer, I want you to know I stuck to it. Okay. I stuck to my guns. I called my plug. I was like, I can't do this. Give me the ganja. But I never went and picked it up. I didn't because I said, nope. I'm not going to do it. And I feel so much better. So I just want you all to know that if anyone's following my sobriety journey, that's what's happening here. All right. Thank you. Yeah, I had to do it. You know, it's been 10 years and I don't want to be I don't want to be hooked on anything except for Jesus really at this point. So it's been it's been a really amazing journey. So again, exactly. It took a few days. I'm like, I'm waiting for that high on life thing because this does not feel high on life. But you know what? I feel a week into this, I feel very grounded, but in a very peaceful way. Okay. And what's happening is that I'm actually feeling my emotions now. So that's what was happening the first few days. When I would be smoking, instead of smoking, I was having feelings. And I'm like, what is this? What are these feelings that I'm feeling? And I mean, it was deep feelings. And I've been through a lot. Chandel knows I've been through a lot over the past 10 years. I mean, over my life. And I know many of us have, okay? Many of us are going through a lot, have been through a lot. So I just want to encourage you. You know, this is not just about app building. This is actually about community building. And this is actually about building your confidence, giving you a sense of purpose. And so if you're watching the live stream, you see the screen that I'm on, it says, let's start with your vision. Because so often people want to build an app, they want to build a community, they want to get a project going, but they do not know where to start. So we are starting with vision. Okay, what is your vision? Who are you? What problem do you want to solve for people? What kind of solution do you want to provide to people? So that's what we're starting with, and that's what the launch blueprint does. Okay, so if you're watching the live stream up above, I'm just going to show you what the launch blueprint actually looks like, the 3 questions that you're answering. Again, in the marketing world, this would be considered a lead magnet. Okay, so not only are people joining my waitlist, but then they are getting this welcome email with an invitation to actually create something and have something tangible based on their idea. Okay, so that's the first part of this training, and you'll see the full playlist up above for training number 1. The first video shows you how to actually create your launch blueprint, and you'll get that sent to your email. And then from there, we're about to go into part 2, where we're using ChatGPT to help us actually plan our landing page, do our branding assets, our logo, and all of that. But I just want to pause for the cause and reset the space because I see we have some new people that have joined. I see you, Nino. So good to see you. Joaquin, welcome to the space. Great to see you here. Let me just quickly see if anyone is waiting to get into the community because I don't want you to have to wait. Okay, I think we're good. We've cleared the community list. So yeah, Chandel, I'll pass to you. Yeah, the email should have 2 links inside of it. It should have the onboarding survey, and then it should have the link to the launch blueprint. Really? Okay, good to know. See, this is why we do this. You all, I cannot stress enough how much you need people actually testing and using what you're working on. Even if you're at the very, 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 very beginning, you don't want to move forward until you know that what you've actually created is usable and workable. So this is really helpful to me. Thank you both Victor and Chandel for trying out the waitlist. I'm not sure why the welcome email isn't coming, and I'm not getting any sort of error message from Make. Make is what I'm using to do that automation where you put in your email for the waitlist and then you should get a welcome email. So please excuse me for that. I will definitely make sure to fix whatever's going on there, and I'll make sure that you all get your welcome email. Okay. But for now, what I will do so that if you want to create your launch blueprint, I'll go ahead and just put the actual, just give me a second here, and I'm going to put the actual link so that you don't have to wait for the welcome email. You can start creating this now. So it's launchblueprint.softer.app. I believe that's the link. I'm going to go ahead and put that up in the Jumbotron. Okay, so if you look up above, if someone could let me know if that, well, here I can test it. Does the link work? Yes, it does. Okay, so you don't have to wait for the welcome email. And the great thing about this is that if you go to create your launch blueprint, then I'll get your email and make sure that you end up, on the full email list. Okay. Yeah. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do a quick reset and then we will get into part 2, which I'm really excited about. For part 2, you do need your launch blueprint. If you don't have it yet, no worries. That's why I have the playlist up above so that once you get it, you know exactly what to do with it. But I want to welcome everybody and say thank you so much for being here. This is our live workshop. I am live streaming. So if you are joining on, I'm live streaming right now to X, YouTube, and LinkedIn, which we like to call the job site. And I'm doing that through StreamYard. So if you're wondering how I'm live streaming in a space, that is how. So if you want to see the visual of what we're doing, it's actually up above in the Jumbotron. Okay, so you can actually see what we're doing here. And if you are joining on YouTube or LinkedIn and you want to be part of the live discussion, so when you hear me not talking sometimes, that's because someone in the live space is speaking, but you can join us. We're live right now. You can literally come up on stage, talk to us. We'd love to have you up here. If you are in the space right now, we'd love to have you on stage as well. Even if you can't talk, it's really helpful if you come up on stage because it sends out a notification to all of your to your audience saying that you're a part of this space. Okay, so this is a community space, so I will ask if you can support it by either coming up on stage, even if you don't want to speak, or another way you can support, like Janina did, is you can create a quote post or you can repost the space as well. There's an arrow at the top if you want to send this space to any DM groups that you're a part of or any individuals that you know that might want to learn how to build an app. Who doesn't want to learn how to build an app? I think people that don't want to build an app, it's because they think they can't build an app. They think it's difficult. They think it's going to take a lot of time. Do you all remember the days where an app costs like $30,000 to $35,000 to build? There's going to be some developers that are mad because now we're out here teaching people how to build an app for free in a minimal amount of time. Now, it's not necessarily going to have super complex features, but that's okay. That's when we get our developer friends, right? We give the developers those jobs to take it to the next level. But I want you all to have the alpha version of whatever it is that you want to build so that when you go to take it to that developer, right, you already have the concept. You already have your users through your waitlist. You already have so much going for you, and that's going to save you a lot of money and a lot of time when you go to hire someone to take it to the next level. So that's what we're doing here today. I want to welcome John Lopez to the stage. So good to see you here. And if at any point you all have any questions or comments, I would love for this to be a discussion as well. We started the space talking about why are waitlists so powerful. They're psychologically, there's something about the waitlist. And we talked about, exclusivity, being a part of something when it first gets started. People love this. And it works really well for anyone who's interested in building community, which I think should be everyone. Everyone here's what I want to say. When people are like, oh, I don't have a community, it takes a lot to build a community. I'm like, look, you already have a community. We all have a community. Go to your text message. Who are you texting? Go to your emails. Who's emailing you? Go to your followers. Okay. These are people that are in your community. It's just that most people are not actually engaging their community. They're not actually doing something with their community. So my suggestion to you, I love what Joaquin said. MVP development is easier than ever. Absolutely. I love that you said that, Joaquin. MVP. That is what we're building here. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard people talk about, oh, I've been working on this app for a year. What? What are you working on for a year? A year in X time and AI time is like 10 years. Okay, so I want you all to get to a place where you're like, once you learn how to build this, you are going to be off to the races. Once you learn the basics of building the landing page for your app, and that is your app, the app is the landing page. That's the beginning of it. It's the MVP. But learning how to do that is enough of a skill set to build the rest of your app, at least the beta version of it. Okay, and then by having a waitlist, you are getting what's coveted amongst developers, which is having users. Okay, having people to fill out those surveys, give you feedback, just like we saw in here live with Victor and Chandel. They're like, look, I'm on the wait list. I'm not getting an email. What's going on? Am I freaking out about that? No, I don't think they're going to go away because they haven't. It's not like they paid me for this app. They are on a wait list. So they understand inherently that this is not perfect. It's the beginning. Okay. And this is what I love about it. This is why, as a community, we started doing launches every month, because I would just hear over and over people talking about what they were doing and never publishing. And so I said, as a community, we are going to do a launch once a month. Our next launch is next Friday. It's number 10. It's the last one for the year. And I want you all to please come with your apps. And when I say your app, I mean your app landing page, waitlist, and whatever else you want to add there. Okay. So let me take a little breather. Oh, I was going to say hello to Human, but he dropped out. All right. So let's, if nobody has any questions, I don't see any hands up. So I will go ahead and move on to part 2. By the way, did anybody see my video about this update with ChatGPT? Is anybody using projects inside of ChatGPT? This is so cool. This is a new update. I'm going to go ahead and share this on my screen. Okay. So if you're following along on the actual live stream, I just updated the screen here and I'm in ChatGPT now. So I just posted a video before this space talking about this new feature in ChatGPT. This is only on the paid version. Okay, so part 2 of this training is inside of ChatGPT. You can use whatever your preferred AI model is. I use ChatGPT pretty much for everything. I stopped using Perplexity. It's like way too woke for me. I was asking it something and it just, I think I was asking something about the Bible and it just refused. It just refused. And I was like, okay, you are not for me. I don't know who's training you and what's going on there, but I'm not using it. So I use ChatGPT, which can be a little funny sometimes too, but for the most part, it works. But one of the updates recently is projects. And this is so cool, you all, because one of my biggest issues is the organization of chats. Okay, so if you do have the paid version of ChatGPT, highly recommend doing the update so that you can start your app as a project and just be organized from the very beginning. Okay. So if you don't know what your app is called yet, that's okay. Just start a project, call it your app, and then we can name it later. But part 2 of this training takes our launch blueprint. Okay. I see your message here, Victor. Does anyone use Poe? I love Poe. Poe is a great tool that has lots of AI models on it. And I believe it was created by the developers of Quora. So it's a really great product. That's another great AI tool as well. And with that, you can try Claude and Anthropic and ChatGPT and, all of these different AI models. That's a really good one. Okay, so I am sharing, again, I'm sharing the screen. That's the live stream that's happening right now. It's up above. Part 2 of the training number 1 playlist focuses on taking your launch blueprint. So once you create your launch blueprint, I have the link up above as well. This is free. It'll take your vision for your app and turn it into an actual app concept. And so what we want to do here, and if you're following along on the screen, you see that I have my alpha project, okay? Now, the really cool thing about this is that we can use ChatGPT or whatever your preferred AI model is to help us create the copy for our landing page. All right, so I'm going to show you how to build a landing page, but you might be like, well, what do I put in the landing page? I don't know what to call my app. I don't know what colors I want to use. I don't have a logo. I don't have copy. Well, this is where we take it to ChatGPT. Okay, so if you have the playlist up above, you'll see that in video 2, I show you how you can take your launch blueprint, which I will send you once you fill out those questions. After the space, you'll get it. You can download it as a PDF, and then you can upload the actual PDF into ChatGPT. Okay, so if you're following along on the live stream, you'll see that I'm in ChatGPT right now. I have my alpha project folder up, and I'm going to show you the chat that I have where I actually uploaded my launch blueprint. Now, you can also copy and paste the contents of your launch blueprint into ChatGPT, or you can download your launch blueprint as a PDF, which is what I've done. And you can see that on the screen up here. You see it says App Concept for Christelle, PDF. I've uploaded that. So in this conversation that I'm having with ChatGPT, I'm just showing you all some suggestions of some prompts that you can give to help you build your landing page, which is coming in part 3. Okay, I want to welcome, who just joined us up on stage? Poppy. Poppy's up on stage. Welcome, Poppy. If anybody wants to speak, just raise your hand or jump in. I don't mind being interrupted. It doesn't feel like an interruption. And if I don't want to be interrupted, I have no problem saying, let me finish my thought. That happened yesterday in the space. This woman interrupted me. I was like, you're welcome. Bless up to you. I love it. Thank you so much for being here. I know there's lots of spaces going on right now. It's a hot time, Friday, 2 p.m. So I really appreciate you all being here with me. It means a lot. And this is really for anyone that is just like, look, I'm ready to work. I'm tired of just listening. I'm ready to press buttons. I'm ready to publish. I'm ready to build this email list. This is so, so important. So thank you, Poppy, for being here. All right, so if you're watching the screen, you see that I'm inside of ChatGPT. So part 2 of this training, and that's part of the playlist up above as well in the Jumbotron, is that we can take this launch blueprint, the app concept that you get, and put it inside ChatGPT and then ask for whatever you want. So I just have a couple of examples here. The first prompt that I said is, please analyze this launch blueprint and give me 10 names for this app. Where did I get the name for launch blueprint? From ChatGPT. Okay, so I literally do this. I already have the name for alpha, so that came from God. But you can see that if you don't know the name for your app, there's no excuse. These are the excuses we give, right? Oh, I don't know what to call it. I'm not ready to launch it because it doesn't have a name. No, we're done with that. You can change the name later. Take that blueprint, put it in ChatGPT, ask for some names. I like to ask for 10. Okay. And then look, see if you like something. If you don't like anything, ask for 10 more. You don't like those, ask for 10 more. All right. Because we're going to need that name, the name of your app, even if you change it later, totally fine. You're not married to anything here. Okay. John Carlos, good to see you. Welcome to the space. Arthur, welcome to the space. Arthur's on the wait list. He's in the group. So glad you're here, Arthur. Yeah, so no excuses. That's why we're doing it like this, because we can just find something that works and use that. And again, you can always change it later. So again, if you're following along in the live stream that is up above, and anyone that is here from YouTube or LinkedIn, I invite you to come over, join us on X, hop inside the space so that you can actually come up on stage, ask any questions that you have. Okay, so the next prompt that I have that you can use is to actually help build, and I use this all the time for my landing pages. I build a lot of landing pages. As an entrepreneur, I build a landing page for every product that I have, every offer that I have. I build landing pages. So, and I use ChatGPT to help with the copy. Okay, so that you don't have to think about what am I actually going to write here. So what we're doing is we're giving ChatGPT our app concept and our blueprint so that it can then use that information to help us come up with a title. And now you see this prompt that I have here is, you are an expert copywriter. Please help me build a landing page for this app concept. This landing page will be a waitlist with a hero section and a feature section. Okay. So by telling it what sections you want, it's going to understand that when it actually gives you the copy. And then again, if you're following along on the live stream, you can see here, it gave me a headline. I actually really like this headline, build your first app together. It also gave me a sub headline. And these are the things that we're going to use in part 3 to actually build our landing page. So I'm not asking you all to even come up with the copy on your own. All of this, if you just press the buttons and go through it, we're going to allow the technology to help pull out our ideas, help pull out our vision, and actually create something amazing with it. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. Just put your hand up, hop in at any time. But if you see here, if you're following along on the live stream, we've got our hero section with our headline, our sub headline, our call to action, and then we also have our feature section. So if you were on, actually what I'm going to do here is switch to the alpha landing page. Okay, so if you're watching on the live stream, I'm now showing, and there is a delay, by the way. It's about like 15 or 20 seconds. Hi, Major X. Great to see you. Hi, Dav and 7DB. Thank you all for joining us. We've got a live stream up above. We have a YouTube playlist. We've got the launch blueprint, everything you need to start building your app, start building your waitlist landing page. So I'm back on the alpha landing page. And as I scroll down, you'll see I have a couple different sections, and you all can add different sections as well. This is just what I'm recommending to start. So like I have this intro here with a video. And then this is my features section. Okay, so that's what I'm showing right now. You definitely want something that's going to tell people about the features of your app. And if you have your launch blueprint and your app concept, then you have your features, which is really nice. Okay, so you can create a landing page that doesn't just collect emails, but actually starts to tell people what your app is going to do, the features, benefits. And then I'm scrolling down a little bit, and you can see our project milestones as well. So where do I get these project milestones? All of this is connected to a database in Notion. So as I update the Notion database with our milestones, it's actually going to update the app landing page for Alpha. Okay, but that's a little bit more advanced. We'll get there later. Right now, what we're focused on is building the landing page with our hero section. That's what we call the first section here, where we can collect email addresses for the waitlist, and then also our feature section. Okay. I need a break, y'all. I've been talking straight. These workshops are like, it's like a lecture. You just talk. So looks like we have a new app concept. Someone has submitted their app. Awesome. Very cool. Maybe while Chandel is speaking, I can actually go deliver that app concept. Yeah, Chandel, go ahead. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's see who turned in their app concept. I'm waiting for it to come up. It's going to take a moment in Notion, but once it comes up, I will send it to you. So I have this whole process about 90% automated. Okay, and again, I'm using Make. So you fill out a form, which I showed you, that answers those 3 questions. And then when it does, I have a make automation set up where it goes through, it takes your answers, puts it through Chat GPT, and creates a Notion page. It also creates a draft email. So it does 90% of the work. All I have to do is actually go in, look at the Notion page, make sure everything looks good. I don't believe in automating 100%. You don't want to just have stuff sent out to people and you did not look over it. Okay, so that's why you don't get your launch blueprint right away. It's created, but then I have to go in, look at it, make sure everything looks good in Notion, and then there's a draft waiting to be sent to you in my Gmail, which makes it very easy. So once I look over everything, I can just go to my Gmail, my draft section, and send you your email. So it's all automated, about 90%. Okay, so, and it's, for me, it's really automated 100% because I've trained my Avas. Those are my two virtual assistants. They're AI trained. So I train them in this. So they can just go in. I mean, it's 3 o'clock in the morning for them right now. So, I'm going to do it right now, but I've trained them to go in and actually do what I just talked about. Go into my email, go into the draft, and actually send it. Okay, so this entire lead magnet process is, for the most part, automated, which is really great. And these are all things that we can do with the technology that we're using. And again, the main tools that we're using are Softer. That's the no-code app platform that we're using. We're also using Notion or any preferred database. You can use Google Sheets. You can use Airtable. That's the back end of your app. So if you can build a database, you can build an app. Think about what you can put in a database that can create a really dynamic, engaging app. And then the third tool that I'm using, which we'll get to in later trainings, is Make. So Make is very similar to Zapier, but it's an automation tool. Okay, so that's how, when you get on the wait list and you get that welcome email that some of you are not getting, so I got to go and Make and see what's going on there. And who knows, maybe it's paused or something. If there's an issue, anytime with the automation, they'll just pause it, and then I go in, fix the issue. So, these things, we say automated, but it doesn't mean that there's no human interaction that happens. There's still human work that needs to happen, but it's just saving you a ton of time. Okay. So I don't see any hands or questions. So I'm going to go back to ChatGPT here. And another thing that I did that you all can do is use ChatGPT to create your logo, because that's another excuse we get, right? I'm not ready to launch my landing page because I don't have a logo. Well, then use ChatGPT. ChatGPT has image generation to create your logo. And again, if you keep it all in the same conversation, right? So we're keeping all of this in one conversation, then you can keep everything nice and organized. So if you're looking at the live stream that I have up above, you'll see an example here. The real alpha app I did use ChatGPT for. What you see here is just an example. But I want you all to know that you can absolutely create a logo and you're not married to it. You can always change it later. But the point here is we're trying to get through all the excuses that are stopping you from publishing. And I want you to know that you can use AI to build your brand assets. Okay. Did you all know that you can also use AI to get your branding colors? Okay, so you see this background color that I have on my PFP. That's a very specific color. And colors have hex numbers, right? And listen, I'm no branding expert. All of these things I learned from being here on Spaces, being here on X, learning from other people, learning from ChatGPT, and that's where we are right now, is that we can really do these things. We don't have to go hire a branding expert, right? We can come up with you know what color you like, you see it somewhere, you can actually put it in ChatGPT. So I uploaded my PFP profile picture into ChatGPT and I said, give me the hex number for this color, this like pinkish purplish color. So once you get that hex number, now you can go into whatever you're building. If you're in Softer building your landing page, you just use that hex number. And I recommend, aligning that color across your brand elements. So you see, we have all pieces here. So we're in part two. In part one, we created the launch blueprint. In part two, we're taking that app concept launch blueprint, uploading it into ChatGPT or a preferred AI tool, and using it to create our brand elements: logo, title for the app, our actual landing page copy, all of that, colors, whatever it is, you can use ChatGPT for that. Okay. Any questions? We good? Anyone building? I love that. Yeah. And the other thing I want you all to know is that this is a skill that you're learning, not just for your own app. Okay. But you can, once you learn how to do this, this is a service that you can now go and provide to the entrepreneurs and creators here on X. Because I'm telling you, there are so many people here. And even if they're a developer, there are so many developers that need help. Okay. Launching. So this is I'm a train the trainer type of teacher. Okay. I don't want to just train you. I want to train the trainer. So I want to teach you so that you can go and teach other people and you can go and sell this. Some of you know I've been meeting with my pastor from the church, and he's been an entrepreneur for decades. Him and I are about the same age. And and I see your hand, Victor, so I'm coming to you in a moment. My first service at church, which was July 13th, he said, we need help with digital marketing. So if anyone here is able to help, that would be awesome. And so I was like, well, that's definitely an area I can help in. And of course, I want to be able to serve the church. So I waited a few weeks, and then I told him what I was doing and I started meeting with him. Well, when I told him about Alpha, he was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And so what I offered is to build an app for the church, a community app that helps members be able to connect digitally. The church also has like over 100,000 followers on all of their social media platforms combined. They have 43,000 followers on Instagram. They have a huge audience on social media, but it's not connected. And by the way, you all, pretty much every church has this problem. Okay? So this is just one specific niche that you could go to and be like, "Hey, I can build you a community app." So that's the first thing I'm building. And guess what? He then said, well, I would love an app that I could do this with. I said, okay, I'll offer to build the church app for free. And then I sent him a proposal with a paid app that can be monetized. And then he's like, well, and then I also want digital marketing services. So I also put in the proposal the Ava services, met with him yesterday. He said yes to it all. So what started as a free app, which he's still getting the free church app, has now turned into a new client with a paid offering. Okay. Why? I'm telling y'all, it is very easy to sell an app to people, especially because we're not charging $35,000 for it. I'm charging $1,000. I'm giving him a discount. I'm charging 1,000. I'd love to hear from you all if you think that's fair. I think that that's more than fair to build you a whole app that's like white labeled, right? But yeah, I think it's extremely fair, but $1,000, imagine like I'm building, and if all of this is automated, right? Because it's a template. Sorry, Victor, I'm coming to you. We've got a template. I've got the Avas. So that $1,000, I'm not having to spend, I'm maybe spending like 30 minutes or an hour at the end of the day just looking over it and making sure everything looks good. Okay. That's where we're going, people. This is the skill I'm trying to deliver to you. Maybe you don't want to build your own app, but I want to encourage you to learn how to build this app so that you can sell this to other people. It is an easy sell. I promise you it's an easy sell. Okay, Victor, go ahead. Thank you. Are you Ayvhieel? Okay. You're about to get it right now. I'm just publishing it to make it so that you can actually see it. And then I'm going to go into my email account because it's sitting. Look, we're going to do this live. So if I go into my email account, I should see a draft for you with your blueprint just sitting there ready to go. And I'm drafts. Yep, it's there and sent. So you see how fast that was? While he was speaking, I went in, I got the Notion page that had his app concept in it, and I turned it to public so that he can actually see it. And then I went into my email. I went to drafts. There was a draft waiting for Victor there with the link and everything, email already ready to go, and I just hit send. So if Victor goes and checks his email now, he should be able to see his launch blueprint. And thank you, Victor, for everything you just said. Because honestly, at the end of the day, if I do this space and only 2 people come out of here with the launch blueprint, I'm happy. Because that's 2 people that actually clicked buttons and got something out of this. All right. I'm looking for people that are going to take action. If you agree to take action, I agree to help you launch and publish your app. Okay. So thank you for that. Check your email. Let us know if you see it. I want to say hi to the mompreneur. So good to see you here. Thank you very much for joining. Victor, do you see it? Okay. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Let me know if you need any help downloading it as a PDF. But like I said, you can also copy and paste it into ChatGPT, or you can right click it, go to print, act like you're going to print it, and then it gives you the option to save it as a PDF. Okay. So this is really cool. I won't share your app concept because maybe you want to keep it a secret, but feel free to if you want to. But I'm just looking over it right now. And what you get in your launch blueprint is you get the product vision. So we're going to give you the vision. We're going to give you your goal, right? And it's a packed goal, which is an outcome based goal. So you have a vision for your app, you have a goal for your app, and then you actually have a launch blueprint that has the core problem that's being solved. You have the entire beta app concept overview with all of the phases, all of the features. I mean, it's amazing what we can do with AI, right? So Alpha is an AI powered platform. So I didn't build this app concept for Victor. I just put it together to make it easy for him to have it. And I built it through Softer and Make. Okay. And Victor, I know you had a question about the databases. That's coming. That's going to be in the next part of the training. So I think that's going to be like part 4. So it'll come out really soon. But for now, we're going to focus on the landing page. But yeah, just know that if you can build a database in Google Sheets or Notion, that's your backend. That is the back end of your app because we just connect it. It's really beautiful. I mean, they've made it so simple. Okay. So let's see here. Ooh, these live workshop spaces are work, y'all. They work. That's why I'm so glad that we have at least one launch blueprint, okay, out of this space. Don't make me feel like this was a waste. Please get on the wait list, create your launch blueprint, create your app, create your landing page. So this is really cool. We're about to get into part 3. And then we're going to close out there. So if anybody has just joined the space, just so you know, there is a live stream going on at the top. So if you look in the Jumbotron, you will see a link to the live stream so that you can actually visually see what we're working on here. So we just finished part 2 where we take our launch blueprint, get it totally free. You just got to join the wait list or go to the actual link that's up above. You take that launch blueprint, put it inside of ChatGPT to help you get your branding elements, your logo, your name, your landing page copy, all those things. And as we move into part 3, now we're going to be actually going into Softer. So I'm about to switch my screen. And so if you look at the live stream, you will now see what Softer looks like. Okay, so I'm in my Softer dashboard, and Softer again is the platform that we're using to build our no code app. And we're starting with the landing page here. Okay, so we're starting with the landing page and a wait list. Now, again, as a reminder, up at the top of the Jumbotron, there is also a playlist. So it's a training number 1 playlist with 3 parts. I think it's all about 30 minutes, maybe a little bit over 30 minutes, so that you don't have to come back and listen to this whole hour and a half long space or live stream. No, I've created like an edited playlist of videos that you can pause and build and pause and build at the same time. Okay, because that's literally how I learn. I go to ChatGPT, I ask for the steps, I go to YouTube University is what I call it, and I find the video that I need to watch and I press play and then I pause and I build. And then I press play, I learn, and then I build. Okay, so that's how I want to be teaching you all to do this. So I'm creating this playlist for you that takes you from the very beginning. So I want to invite you to join this process with us. We're at the very beginning. We have a launch coming up in a week, and I would love to see some of your apps there launched. Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments so far? We are getting into the last like probably 10 minutes of the space as we get into part 3, where we start to actually build our launch, our landing page wait list. Okay. It's what you all came for. So now we're ready to actually get that started. Yeah, Poppy, I'll go ahead and pass it to you. Thank you. Thank you, Poppy. I love that. And if I were you and I was completing the launch blueprint questions and it says, what problem are you solving? I would say, I'm here to solve the problem of artists not having a platform to share their music where they actually own their content. Okay. Like that's a problem right there that a lot of people have, and you have the skills to do that. So why not just try that out? Just answer the questions and see if you like what you get. And you don't have to do anything with it, but at least you now have, a concrete blueprint and concept for that idea. So everyone here has some expertise, some skill that they can offer. Yeah, go ahead, Poppy. Well, that's great. And you're showing an example of what happens when you come into these spaces and you share with us. It gives us the opportunity to reflect back to you. Because often what happens is we have all these ideas, and you even said you're like doing a million things at one time. And so we need to share our vision with people so that then they can reflect back to us. I know you got a lot of things going on, but here's one space that you can really focus in on. So I want to welcome our second co-host, Sean. I'm so glad you're here. I was hoping you would come in. Thanks for joining us. We are kind of closing towards the end of the space, but I'm really glad you're here because I want people to know you exist. Sean has, they probably already know you anyways. You're super popular. People love you. And I'm going to pass the mic to you in a second so you can say hi. But Sean has his community, The Hunt, and he has a really amazing space that he does. Netta's in there a lot of times as well. She hosts, and they help you find your job in tech. And when you hear me say, press the buttons, I get that from Sean. Okay, he's a fellow uh, action taker, and he wants to encourage you to press those buttons and take action. You can ask him, Sean. I've been saying that all space. I'm like, people, press those buttons. I'm gonna pass the mic to you in a second. I want to say hi to G-Lo. So good to see you here. And Lucia, thank you all for joining. And Daniel, if you are just getting here, and Tessa and Godwin and Lataric, we have a live stream going on so you can actually visually see what's happening. And I did brush my hair, so I'm on camera today. Make sure that live stream is muted so that you can still hear what's going on in the space. I also have our YouTube playlist. So there's 3 videos there. That way you don't have to go back and watch this entire, hour and a half plus live stream. I have a training playlist there that's about 30 minutes that teaches you how to do everything that we're doing in this class. Okay. And we're about to get to part 3 now, where we actually build the waitlist landing page. So in a moment, I'll review what we did. But first, I want to pass the mic to Sean to say hi. How you doing? Say hi to the people. So good to see you here. Thank you, Sean. It's a pleasure to have you here. And anytime a co host spot is available, would love for you to be up here, especially when this is the topic, because we know that you bring so much expertise. And I know you're going to light that fire under some behinds to press those buttons. So let's go ahead and get into part 3. So, as a review, in part 1, I showed you all how to create your launch blueprint. So we're starting at the very beginning, which is the vision. But oftentimes we have these ideas and we have all these things we want to do, and we really need help just bringing it into an actual concept. So in part 1, which by the way, I have the playlist up above in the Jumbotron. So all these videos are there. You can see everything. And the link to create your launch blueprint is up above in the Jumbotron as well. But that's step 1. So in step 1, we're answering some basic questions about what, even if you don't know what app you want to build, or if you want to build an app, just answer the questions. What problem do you want to solve? And who are you solving it for? Right? What transformation does your product or service provide? And then what does success look like for you in 6 months? And we'll take those answers and build you an app concept from that. Okay. So the last thing I want to hear is people being like, oh, I'm still trying to decide on this or that. No, y'all, you're going to get left behind. Go in and just type something out so that you can see what it's like to have an actual app concept in front of you. You can toss it, you can throw it away. You don't have to marry it. You don't have to do anything with it. Okay. Y'all are going to hear me say the word a lot, marry, in 2025. Some of you know your girl has a vision for herself. We all have to have a vision. Okay. We have, seriously, like we have to have vision. When I work with clients, the first thing we do is get the vision together. And you know why we do this? Because they forget the vision so fast. When I hired a coach and I had a coach, the best thing I got out of him was that he reminded me constantly of what my vision is, because we forget. I was just working with a client the other day, and it was our like second session, and she was already going off the rails, and I'm like, that is not your vision. I had to take her back to the vision. Okay, so that's why we start there. We start with your vision. So that's part 1, and I see your hand, Russ. Thank you so much. I'm coming to you in a moment. So we start with your vision. We take the answer to those questions, and you're going to get a launch blueprint. In part 2, and Victor got his blueprint, so he's got his. In part 2, I showed you how to take that blueprint. You can download it as a PDF. You can copy and paste it and put it into ChatGPT or the AI model of your choice to help you with your branding elements. So help you come up with a name for your app. Okay, help you come up with the colors, help you come up with a logo, help you come up with the landing page copy. Okay, that's really important. So that's the second video in the playlist. All right. So using ChatGPT or AI to help us actually build the copy and the images and the logo and all of that. And again, let me stress this, and then I'm coming to Russ and Victor, and then we're going to close out this training. We'll probably end, at the top of the hour. I cannot stress this enough. Even if you do not want an app for yourself, please learn how to build this and take on this skill anyway, because it is a highly monetizable skill to have. I told you, I already sold my first app to my pastor at church because he wants an app for himself, he wants an app for the church, and it wasn't hard. It's not hard to convince people, that already want an app or don't even know they want an app. But when you start listening to what they really want, and they talk about they want to monetize, they want to build this. Okay, well, what if we had an app that could do that? I mean, eyes light up. It's the easiest sell. So please learn the skill. Learn the skill, even if it's not for your own app. Learn the skill so that you can offer this as a service to the creators, entrepreneurs, business owners that are here on X or in your local neighborhood, whatever. I'm telling you, people want to own their own app. They're tired of paying Patreon, 10% of their payments, or Mighty Networks paying $100 a month, paying school $100 a month. Why? When you could build your own community platform, you keep 100% of the profit, you own all the data, all the emails, everything. I'm telling y'all, this is what people want. They don't know it exists. They do not know that this is possible. All right, Russ, I'd love to go to you, and then we'll go to Victor. Oh my goodness, Russ. That is so cool. I don't think I've ever gotten a client while on the space before. So that's so cool. Yeah, Russ and I had our second talk the other day, and he was like, "I'd love to work with you." And so I sent him that link, and oh, that's so cool. Thank you. I'm smiling ear to ear. Look at that. God is so good. Because you know what's happening? I'm getting the clients that I'm working with are just, they're improving so much. I've changed my model, I've changed the offering, I've even changed the pricing. And I'm just seeing a huge improvement with the people that I'm actually working with. And one of the things that I do is I offer an initial consultation, which is what Russ signed up for, because I say, look, through this initial consultation, you can see if you even want to work with me. Like, do you like my style? Do you like what I'm offering you? And then also it works for the consultant as well, because you can see what it's like working with that person, right? Like, you have an initial consultation with someone, they don't show up, or they just, they're not really paying attention, whatever. You can tell that, and you might not want to work with them. You don't necessarily want to take everyone on as a client. But what I'm noticing is that the people that I'm meeting from these spaces that are actually, moving forward, taking action, they're just the best clients I've had in the past. So this is really great. And thank you again, Russ, for all of your support, not just for me, but you're so supportive of so many people on this app. Victor, I'm passing you the mic. Yeah, do you see the playlist up above in the Jumbotron? Make sure you save that. Like, send it to yourself, email it to yourself, text it to yourself, because part 2 of the playlist, it's a 3-video playlist. Part 2 will show you step by step how to take your launch blueprint, put it in ChatGPT, and get your landing page copy, your branding elements. So all of that's there. And then part 3 is what we're about to go into now. And then that will be enough to close us out. The next training will go into actually working on the database, which I know you asked about, Victor. So that'll be perfect. We'll do that next. I'll show you all how to start actually building your backend databases with Notion or Google Spreadsheets, and then connecting that to your app. Okay, but for today, we're focused on the actual landing page. I want to say hi to Olu. So good to see you here. And Mike. Hi, Mike. Mike is someone that I have met in Sean's spaces. You see how that works? Community leaders bring their awesome people and their community and their audience. This is why it's so nice to connect with other people that are building community, because you're like, my people get to meet your people. What's that song? We Could Be Friends. I can't even think of it. It's Biggie, but I'm like trying to think of it and I can't, because I'm running a space and a workshop at the same time. Get with my friends. We could be friends. We could do this every weekend, right? Something like that. Anyways, I gave my life to Jesus. No more of that. I'm just kidding. I can still listen to some of that music. There's this station. So I have a new car. It's not new. It's not a new car. It's new to me. And my mom bought it, and it's a huge blessing, but it doesn't have like Bluetooth or anything like that. And I'm used to brand new cars that have Bluetooth. So I'm listening to the radio for the first time, I'm telling y'all, since I was like a teenager, okay? Because all of my cars have been like brand new and they've had, the Bluetooth or whatever. So I found this station in Miami, and it's hilarious because it's like oldies. That's not what they say, but I think it's like 96.5 or something. Chandel, I don't know if you listen to it. But it is hilarious because it's like supposed to be, the oldies station, but I know all the lyrics to every song, because I'm like, okay, this is basically the music from the 90s and the 2000s. That's now, 30 years later. So anyways, I digress. Let's finish up this workshop. Ooh, I'm exhausted. I feel like I just worked out because I'm talking so much. So I appreciate anyone that's come up and shared. Yeah, go ahead, Chandel. But do you actually know music from the 80s? I only know music from what's from the 80s? No, I'm just kidding. Of course, that's like Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. We got some songs from the 80s. Yeah, but I love the 90s. Y'all remember? But listen, I listen to these songs and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is why we all went astray and we were all on a path to hell. And hopefully some of us turned around. Because I'm like, all of these songs are either about like getting women drunk so that they'll have sex with you, Or, then you listen to that song Too Close. Ooh, I'm dancing, grinding. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is the music I was listening to and knowing because I'm over here singing it, right? But I'm like, wait a second. I'm listening to myself sing it and rap it. And I'm like, what am I saying? And I'm thinking this is what I was listening to when I was like 14, 15 years old. God help us all. It's so true. I get so happy when I hear like 112. 112 was so wholesome. They were talking about like, Cupid and love. And then you've got the groups that were talking about, let's get married. And I'm like, none of them survived. None of them survived because the music industry was like, we're not talking about love. We're not talking about marriage. We're just talking about making it clap. Yeah, Victor, go ahead. And then I promise y'all, we're finishing with part 3 and we're closing out. It's so vulgar. It is so Shandell quoted my making it clap. Oh my goodness, so funny. Yeah, it's really it's pretty bad. But I think things are changing. The tide is a changing. Y'all, I want to have a whole space where we talk about this whole Lily thing. I can't remember her last name, but that ish is wild to me. It is so wild. But anyways, we're gonna put a bookmark on that. But I might start doing some spaces that have nothing to do with tech, nothing to do with building apps. I'm like, look, I just want to talk about some of these crazy current events that are happening. Right? We got to talk about that. Okay. We digress. We love a good little digression. We've been really good about staying on topic. So we got about 12 minutes left. We're gonna close out at the top of the space. If you're following along, I have the live stream going and I am inside Softer right now. That is the platform that we're using. That's the no code app builder platform that we're using to build our app and our landing page. So we're starting with the landing page. Okay. If you go to dropthealpha.com, you can actually join the waitlist to be a part of what we're building. And that is in my bio. So you can just click on my face. You'll see it right there in the bio. It says dropthealpha.com. You can add your name, your email to the waitlist. You'll get a welcome email where you can continue on in the process. And basically, what I'm doing is that anyone like Victor, welcome to the winner circle. That's what I'm calling it. Anyone who completes the launch blueprint is invited to join the winner circle. And the winner circle are people that have taken that step to actually get their app concept. And what I'm doing is more private sessions off of X where we're on Zoom. So it's just a few of us. I can offer much more direct support and service. Okay. So I hope more people will join the winner circle after today. It only takes a few minutes to answer these questions and then get your launch blueprint. So let's go ahead and finish out the space and the workshop with part 3, which is to actually take what we got from part 2 from ChatGPT. We got our landing page copy, we built our logo, we picked out a name, and now we can actually start building our landing page. So if you're looking at the live stream up above in the Jumbotron, you'll see the visual of the dashboard and you'll see that there's a couple different places we can start in Softer. You can use AI to generate an app with a prompt. That's something they're still working on. I don't love it. You'll also see that they have templates. I highly recommend as a learning tool to go in there and press the buttons with the templates, because with the templates, you see what's possible, what kind of app you can build. You don't even have to start from scratch. You all could come in here. They have a template here I'm looking at that says content calendar. Okay. You know how many creators and entrepreneurs would love to have a content calendar app that like helps them plan and create? Imagine you build that from this template and then you just replicate it and white label it for people. I mean, this is the future. I'm trying to get you all to see the money in this. I have already gotten my first client. The pastor at my church wants me to build him an app. Okay. And I haven't even, I mean, it's only been a couple weeks. All I have is a wait list and, So I really hope you all take this skill. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to press the button that says start from scratch. Okay, so that's in the upper right-hand corner. And again, all of this is in the video playlist up above. This, what I'm about to show you now, is in part 3. Okay, so it's in part 3 of the playlist. So when we click on start from scratch, you're going to see that it says, what data do you want to use in this app? And you see all of these databases: Airtable, Notion, Google Sheets. For now, we're going to skip that because we're building the landing page. So we're not actually connecting any data. That's going to come in training number 2, which Victor will get a special invite to. We will make sure that Victor knows when training number 2 is happening. He will not miss it because he's in the winner's circle. Okay. And all you have to do to get in the winner's circle is to actually create your launch blueprint, which is in part 1. For now, we are going to connect later. So I'm just going to click the connect later button, and you're seeing that it's creating my app. Now, if you've ever used a website builder before, you're going to be very comfortable using Softer. It's super easy to use. I can't believe how quickly I learned to build an app. And if you look in the upper right-hand corner, publish. The publish button is right here. I mean, I want you all to see that you can really publish in just a few minutes once you've built this initial landing page. Oh, something's happening with Chandel. She's going to do a lap. Let me bring her back up. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is actually delete most of these blocks. So all of these, if you're watching in the live stream, these are all blocks, right, that just come with the standard app. So the first thing I'm going to do is come in here and actually delete most of these because we're starting from scratch. Okay. And I'm just going to give you a quick orientation of the builder. And then I'm actually going to take you to one that I already started. So you see how all of this comes together. So this is where we actually build the app. This plus button here allows us to add a block. And then if you look on the right-hand side, that's where we have our blocks that we can add. Now, dynamic blocks are blocks that are connected to your database. So as the database updates, so does that block on your app. A static block is very similar to what you're used to with a standard website builder. Okay, so the static block is only going to change if you go in there and actually change it. Because we're building a landing page, we are starting with static blocks. So the first block that I'm adding here is a hero block. Okay, that's what it's called. And remember, when we built the landing page copy in ChatGPT, we asked for copy for a hero section. That's why we said that. So we can easily copy and paste it right here into it. So I'm choosing the one that says hero with email capture, because remember, we're doing a wait list. So we want to have that email capture there. Okay. And I simply click the plus button. That's it. Look at that. Now I have my hero section. We're going to add one more section here, and that is the feature section. So I'm going to go back to static, click on features, and you can choose the feature section that you want. I'm going to choose this one, feature with product demo. And that's it. This is it. This is the basic landing page we're starting with. 3 blocks. A header block for your logo. So you see if I click on the block, then you can come in here on the right and actually update it. So I can upload the logo that I just created. I can add different links here. If you anywhere you see this paintbrush or styles, you can change the color, the size. I can click on this box here and change the actual title. So what I'm going to do is actually go to one that I already started here. Oh, I just realized I have a meeting coming up in a few minutes, but that's okay. We're about to close. I'm pretty much almost done, but I just want to show you the one that I started. Okay, so what I did is I just took the copy from ChatGPT, literally just copy and pasted it. Okay, took the logo that I created in ChatGPT and put it here. So if you're looking, this is the sample one that I did for the training. Okay, so you remember this copy, build your first app together. That came from ChatGPT. All I had to do was copy and paste it right here in the title. Okay, then we have our subtitle. We also got that from ChatGPT. Copy paste. If I want to make this a little bigger, the text is small, I can just click on the paintbrush, increase the size of the text. I can change the color of the button, the roundness of the button. I can add a nice image here. I'm changing the name of the button to Waitlist. This is very important. We said we were going to do some kind of test here to see 2 landing pages. If we have one with a button that says subscribe versus a landing page that says waitlist, I guarantee you the landing page that says waitlist is going to get much, much more emails. There's something psychological about the exclusivity. That's what Victor was saying, and Chandel, and Jeff at the beginning. So true. People love feeling like they are part of something. And for you, the creator, you can relieve that pressure of needing to publish something that is perfect and ready because it's a wait list. So people are going to be forgiving of you if everything doesn't work perfectly. Okay, that's what we love about this. So as you can see here, I just copy and pasted from ChatGPT into here. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want any more excuses about why you all are not creating landing pages. I have like 10 landing pages. If someone wants to know about my founder program, I send them a landing page about the founder program. If somebody wants to know about doing consulting or coaching work with me, I send them a landing page. Landing pages are so powerful, and some of you have never even built your first landing page. So please take the time, build a landing page, use ChatGPT or whatever your preferred AI model is, or don't use AI. Maybe you're ready to just come in here and type all the things out, do that. But the point is, once you've got this built out, and you can even use the images that are in here, I think it uses Unsplash or whatever that is to come up with images. And then once you're done, you just hit this publish button. It really is that easy. I mean, it's like you could do all of this in 15 minutes, and yet 99% of you won't. So I am here for the 1% that is willing to do this. I am here to help you. I'm here to show you that it can be done. John Lopez, I saw your hand. Thanks so much for being here. I'm passing you the mic. Oh, that's okay. All right, you all. Last thing I want to show you is just that on the side here, you see that this is where you can add more pages. You can change your theme. You can also see how this looks on a tablet. You can see what it looks like on a phone. Remember, this app that we're building, not only is it a web app, right, that you can get through regular web domain that we talked about in the beginning, but Softer is using something called progressive web apps, which allow you to actually create mobile apps without having to go through the app store. So that's one of the things that came up a lot when we were doing this over the summer. Can I get my app in the iPhone store? Where there's a whole thing to do that. Okay, there's a whole process for that. With progressive web apps, it's literally just the click of a button and you can download the app on your phone, which is really amazing. So they make it so that you can easily see what your app looks like on a phone. And that's the version that I have here. Okay. So that is the entire training for part 1. That's all 3 parts, from building your launch blueprint to putting it in ChatGPT to help you get your copy, your branding, and then finally building in Softer your landing page, which I promise you, you can do in less than 10 minutes if you have your logo, if you have your copy. And then what we'll do going into part 2, or sorry, training number 2, is I'll show you all how to actually automate everything. So once someone signs up for your wait list, they can get an automatic welcome email, and I'll show you how to start building your databases and connecting those to Alpha. But for now, the task, the homework assignment is to build your waitlist landing page, okay? And the entire playlist is up above. It takes about 30 minutes to watch the whole thing. I recommend you hit play, build, pause, and go back and forth until everything is done. Okay, and when you're ready, you just hit publish. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to my live stream friends. Thanks, and anyone who joined on live stream. We were live streaming to YouTube and LinkedIn and X. Really appreciate you all for joining. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Okay.